today, all the time I speak a lot, and then to come up to here, I have spoken many hours. I think today, when we have this gathering, we are at a turning point in a sense, from the point of selling this idea of Open University to the grassroots, to a point where we are in a verge of executing in a sense. So today we are gathered here to deliberate on how we could execute this. We no longer have to sell this idea is good, but we have to make it happen. So that's why we are here, and I am really delighted to have this gathering in Ottawa especially, and to friends we have come from outside, I really welcome. And especially to come up to here, I have to tell small stories, I think. One of the things that why we came up to this, like building this institution, I want to tell a small story. We were, through Canada Foundation for Nepal, we were doing some small school, schools, secondary schools especially in Nepal, we were doing small projects. The project's idea was that how we could improve the pass rate of students in school living certificate examination. In Nepal, there is an iron gate at grade 10. All the students of Nepal, after passing grade 10 from their respective schools, they have to participate in a national level exam. And majority of rural students fail on that exam, and after that their future or other entrances to any other institutions are limited by that. So we wanted to improve that. And we made some small laboratories, computer laboratories and internet connectivity, and then we took some content and we wanted to improve that. So when we were in that endeavor of improving these schools, and we had found that only mathematics and English accounted for 90% of the failures of rural children. So just two subjects, if we were to dramatically improve the pass rate, then the overall pass rate will improve. And it sounded very simple, and then we thought that we would be able to do something. And then we sent a lot of volunteers from United States, Canada, and then we kept on training people. But what we found was that there is a recurring problem of migration of people. When people become knowledgeable in the villages, they go to the cities, and when they become knowledgeable in the cities, they go to foreign countries. And that is the trend in all developing countries. Even in Canada, rural population is depleting, and we have a hard time retaining qualified people in rural Canada, which the Honorable Kilgore will readily attest that. So, in order to solve this problem, there is no magic to moving back qualified people to the villages, so we had to do some unconventional approach, that's what we thought, and that is why this led to source of distance education. And why we came to the university was that we found really solid foundation built at university and college level, although a lot of work has been done at elementary level, secondary level, but it is still in its very early infancy, whereas the university level and college level education has matured significantly to be very comfortable that we would successfully be able to establish a university in Nepal using the successful models. And on top of that, we were able to identify one of the best institutions in the world that happened to be in Canada in distance education. That was Athabasca University. When we went for fact-finding mission, we were truly impressed, and then we took that idea to the Non-Resident Nepalese Association, which is a global diaspora organization of Nepalese. And then what happened was that when we took that idea, everybody accepted it as a very good one, and a lot of things followed up from that, which later on our friends will cover. But what I want to tell today is that in order to come here, there's some in order to reach anywhere, you get inspired by some people, right? And today, I want to recognize 5 advisors of Canada Foundation for Nepal, who has tremendous role in making, bringing us here. Although they have gone unnoticed until now, today it is very important that I recognize Dr. Pierre Boudet, who is not here today, but he is the chair of the School of International Development and Globalization. He is not here, but what he said to us, to me one day was that, Pramod, why are you doing projects? He said that, you have so many capable people, you shouldn't be doing projects, you should be building institutions, which will last for should last for generations. If you do project, I will not help you much. That's what he said. If you build institution, I will help with full force. That's what he said. Then that led us to think that what kind of contribution we can make in institution building in Nepal. That's how he directed us towards institution from the projects that I want to really recognize today. Similarly, Honorable David Kilgore, he is one of those exemplary Canadians. He never lost any election. He was the longest serving MP when he was the Member of Parliament in Canadian Parliament. And he said, like we have talked long hours, but especially how to win people. And then especially what he said was that how you have to look up to people who are more successful than you. Then you will become successful. In fact, you may have forgotten, but I haven't forgotten that. How you showed that how success can be achieved by people. And I truly recognize, and today in our team, all the people are more successful than me. And Terry Curtis, for the Open University, do you remember on the storm you drove all the way to Toronto? And the first speech I gave on this, although the mass could not particularly recognize its potential at that particular day, but still, that was the beginning. You were the one who drove me to Toronto on a stormy day, and in the night we were coming on complete storm. And we had long conversation along the way, but whenever I run into trouble, then I phone Terry, I need your time, and Terry said, and then in the end he said, I couldn't give you anything. But I know that if I can spend time 15 days with Terry, I can write a book. So this is the long experience. Any problem I go, he will say something about what is happening. I find the solution to any problem I need through Terry's wisdom. And it is so tremendously appreciated. And then Dr. Ambika Adhikari, whom we brought as advisor this time, from this year, he is the first Nepali to do PhD from Harvard, and then Harvard and MIT scholar. Is exemplary scholar Nepal produced. In fact, I looked up to him because I taught in the same institute as he was teaching at Tribhuvan University, and then because of how successful he was, how well liked he was, I wanted to be like him.
And he still has the hair.
So, to have him in the team, it is so tremendously gratifying. And then, Dr. Dave Irving Halliday from University of Calgary, who is also away, actually both of these professors are away, that's why they couldn't come. And he is also instrumental. He is the president of the Light of the World Foundation, which Honorable Kilgore might know. He is very exemplary Canadian. He has done a lot of service to the world in a low energy. His mission is to make the energy consumption in the world to be reduced drastically, and he has done a lot of good work for Nepal and in rural lighting and like that. And he is also one of those people. Your endeavor should be not energy hogging. That's what he said continuously to me. Do something that requires hardly any energy. Then there is the future of Nepal. That's what he said to me. And then I think we haven't. All of your words, they haven't gone wasted. I think we have taken them deeply, and then I think we will not let them just go onto waste basket. In fact, we have done something, we are doing something that, although we cannot see you very frequently enough, obviously, we should be judicious in taking your precious time also, but somehow I want to say that it has been really great. And also, also Athabasca University as a whole team, Dr. Ali Troy, and then there's a whole team. Athabasca University is the most exemplary institution that has brought us here, that I have to recognize. And first of all, Dr. Friis Paneku, president of Athabasca University, and he is also the president of Norway-based International Council for Open and Distance Education. That is also the advisory body for UNESCO on all distance education matters. When he said that we will help you, then we became so much stronger, you know. When somebody like that says that you go ahead, we are behind you, you will not fail. And obviously, we will not make you fail either. The way you have promised us to not fail, and we reciprocally tell that we will not fail you. That's what I want to say today. And then Ambassador Ghimire. Nepal didn't have an embassy before, and Dr. Ghimire arrived here. And it has been really unbelievable how wholeheartedly you supported this initiative, as if like you knew it always. In fact, later on it was surprisingly, it's a happy surprise, what I found was that in 2003, that time frame, Dr. Ghimire was really trying to push this Open University of Nepal concept in the government of Nepal, but because of conflict and all of the situation that could not really go through because the priority of the government shifted to war and other things, as a result it fell through, but somehow you are one of the instrumental people to push that through Nepali bureaucratic chain. So with that, and then after that I have to recognize you all, and Dr. Vidyaranji, your support, like how you have said that I am behind you and all of those things. Like there are so many friends we have been behind. And today I also have to recognize our research chair of Canada Foundation for Nepal, Dr. Drona Rasali. In fact, he is the one who told me that when I was in distance university, he said, you should name it Open University of Nepal. He had studied government of Nepal policies and all of that. He found that government of Nepal has tried to establish Open University, but he hasn't been able to. Just catch that. Why do you want to invent other wheel? Take that wheel and run. That's what he said. So Dr. Rasali is like, you are the one who actually made that click, right? And then we started connecting with the government, and then that's how we, like before, we hadn't started connecting yet. But that made all of these connections, all of this, the wheel started rolling. Actually, what happened is that I talk on and on when I start talking. But today, I want to recognize all the friends, even the friends who haven't been here. For example, some friends have helped so tremendously. They are in other countries and wherever. And there is Raju Adhikari, Dr. Raju Adhikari, who is waiting in the internet there from Australia, and NRN president. All kinds of people have come forward in this initiative. Today, I don't want to take a lot of time, already I took. And this day is your day. I do not want to tell that what is Open University and all of that today. I think I have done enough talking. Now, let us deliberate today and really come up with some great ideas through which we could take it further.